Right now, as you watch this, something is living in your eyelashes. Tiny creatures nested in the roots, and when too many move in, your lashes thin and fall out. And by the time you notice, the damage started months ago, and it was almost certainly something you did to yourself, taught to you by an industry that profits every time you fail. Because here's their secret. Your lashes and brows were never doomed. They were sabotaged. That $40 tube of growth serum is counting on you never learning the difference between the thing that grows a hair and the thing that only fakes it. Most of those serums are conditioners in disguise, working a little, then vanishing the second you stop, so you buy another. Forever. A subscription to your own insecurity. Your grandmother never paid it. She reached into the kitchen and kept her lashes for decades. Tonight, you get that back. 8 things you can rub on for pennies, and 3 bonus tricks that make your lashes and brows look fuller in the next 60 seconds. And one of these 8 is the only one with real science behind it, real research that surprised the people who ran it, and I will name it before we are done. Stay with me, because if you leave early, you keep buying the lie. Number 1 is the one your grandmother swore by, and it earns every bit of the legend, as long as you know what it actually does. Castor oil, cold-pressed, thick, cheap. $1 or $2 for a bottle that lasts you half a year. Dip a clean spoolie, wipe the excess, brush it through your brows and along the tips of your lashes at night, never near the waterline. Now hear the truth the internet buries under hype. Castor oil does not sprout new hairs out of thin air. What it does is stop the ones you have from snapping off. And that is the entire game. You are not losing your lashes because they will not grow. You are losing them because they break faster than they return. Plug that leak, and within 8 to 12 weeks, they look darker, fuller, longer. Not because you grew more, but because you finally stopped bleeding what you had. Use a whisper of it. A heavy coat just slides into your eye and puffs you up by morning, which is exactly why people quit before it ever pays off. Do it right. And the sparse patches where you overplucked 20 years ago are the first place you will see it fill back in. Think about the math for a second. That bottle costs you less than a single coffee, and it lasts you 6 months. The serum it replaces costs $40 and lasts you 6 weeks. Run that out over a year, and the industry was charging you $300 to do worse than a $1 bottle of oil. $300 to lose. Your grandmother would have laughed in their faces. Number 2 is the hidden one, the one this whole video was made for. And it is the answer to the open loop I gave you at the start. So listen, rosemary oil. Of every natural oil women have brushed on for 100 years, rosemary is the one that was actually put to the test for hair growth, and the results were strong enough that it stunned the people running the study. That is not folklore. That is the reason it exploded. People stumbled onto it looking for something to save their thinning hair, tried it, and could not believe what they saw. And the word spread faster than any advertisement, because word of mouth is the one thing money cannot buy and cannot fake. But here is the line you must not cross. Rosemary oil is a strong essential oil, and undiluted, it will burn you. 1 or 2 drops into a teaspoon of a carrier oil, castor or coconut, then brushed onto the brows and lash line, away from the eye. It works by waking up the circulation to the follicle, and a fed follicle is a growing follicle. This is the closest thing on this entire list to a genuine, natural grow your hair trick, and 99 women out of 100 have never once put it on their brows. Start with a single drop every other night, and if you ever feel a sting, you use too much. Respect it, and it rewards you. And ask yourself why you have heard of every trendy serum on earth and never once been told to put diluted rosemary oil on your brows. It is not because it does not work. It is because nobody can slap a $40 price tag on something growing in a pot on your windowsill. Number 3 is coconut oil, and it is not a repeat of the first 2, because it does something they cannot. Coconut oil is one of the only oils on Earth whose molecules are small enough to slip inside the hair itself, not just sit on top. Once inside, it stops the protein loss that turns hair brittle and snappable. Warm a trace of it between your fingers, brush it through clean brows and lash tips at night, and you are building strength from the inside out. This is the one for the woman whose lashes feel dry and fragile and shatter the second she touches a curler. You know the feeling, the little lashes stuck to the curler pad, the gap in the brow that never used to be there. That is not aging you cannot fight. That is breakage, and breakage has a cause and a cure, and it costs almost nothing. A single jar lasts a year and moonlights as your body cream, your hair mask, and your eye makeup remover. Just keep it to a trace, because coconut oil is rich, and a heavy hand ends up in your eye. Choose the unrefined, virgin kind if you can, because it keeps the good fatty acids intact, and give it a couple of months before you judge it. You will not see it at first. You will feel it in how much less your lashes break the next time you curl them. And that is the whole point, because every lash that does not break is a lash you get to keep. Number 4 is aloe vera, the plant everyone keeps for sunburns and nobody thinks to put on their brows. Pure aloe is packed with a structure remarkably close to keratin, the exact protein your hair is built from, so it conditions the hairs and feeds the skin the follicles are anchored in. Brush a thin layer over brows and lash line at night. It is feather light, it never feels greasy, and it is the one thing on this list you can stir straight into your oils. A little aloe with a little castor, conditioning and follicle feeding in a single step. For the woman who finds every oil too heavy, this is your answer. And if you own the plant on your windowsill, it costs you nothing at all. Nothing. Zero. A plant almost impossible to kill, handing you fresh active gel on demand for years, doing the job of a product that would have cost you $20 a bottle. That is the pattern here. Over and over, if you are paying attention. Number 5 is vitamin E. Straight out of a capsule, and it is the tiny bodyguard for everything else you are doing. Vitamin E is a powerful antioxidant, and antioxidants shield the follicle from the daily stress that quietly weakens hair. Pierce a capsule, squeeze out the bead, brush a little through your brows, and lash tips a few nights a week. Even better, drip it into your other oils, because a drop of vitamin E turns a plain conditioning treatment into a protective one. A little goes a long way, so a few nights a week is plenty. This is the trick that makes every other trick work harder. A single box of these capsules costs a few dollars and lasts you a year, and it is the same vitamin E the expensive serums brag about on their labels, sitting on the vitamin aisle for pennies while they charge you a fortune for a drop of it. Now, before I give you the next 3 and the bonus tricks, here is where the industry really got you, and it is worth 30 seconds. If you have ever bought a serum, brushed it on faithfully for a month, seen nothing, and quietly decided the problem was you, that your lashes were just genetically hopeless, stop right there. It was never you. You were handed an expensive conditioner dressed up as a growth potion and then blamed for its failure. Everything on this list costs a fraction of that tube, and I keep a full breakdown of these homemade lash and brow recipes in a free guide for you. But stay here, because the 3 that are left include the cheapest trick of all and the one that works in a single night. Number 6 is cooled green tea, and it is sitting in your kitchen right now. Brew it strong, let it go stone cold, dip a cotton pad or a spoolie and sweep it over your brows and lash line, then let it dry, do not rinse. Green tea carries antioxidants and a touch of natural caffeine, and caffeine on the skin is believed to nudge the follicles awake, which is precisely why it keeps turning up in the expensive products. A few times a week, weightless, refreshing, and free for the woman who cannot stand the feel of oil. It is something out of nothing, which is the whole spirit of this list. And here is the part that should stay with you. Caffeine is the exact ingredient the pricey lash products put on the front of the box in bold letters. You are getting it from the tea bag you are going to throw in the bin. Same active, no markup. That sentence right there is the entire beauty industry in 8 words. Number 7 is petroleum jelly overnight, and I am going to be dead honest with you, because honesty is the only thing that separates me from the shelf. It does not grow one hair, not one. Anyone who tells you it does is lying to your face. What it does is armor. A trace of plain petroleum jelly on clean brows and lashes at night seals in moisture, coats every fragile hair, and shields it from the breakage that steals your lashes while you sleep, so you keep more of them, and they look glossier and darker for it. On the nights you are too tired to mix a thing, one swipe of this is a perfectly good way to protect what you have. Clean the makeup off first. You are sealing in moisture, not sealing in the day. A jar of this costs $1 or $2 and outlasts a dozen of the tiny tubs they sell you, and it is honestly one of the most useful things you can own, but only if you use it for what it truly does, protect, and not for what they wish you believed, grow. The difference between those two words is the difference between the truth and the sales pitch. Number 8 is where you stop buying and start making. Your own overnight serum, built from the best of everything I just gave you. Take a small clean bottle or a washed out mascara tube. Pour in castor oil as the base, a splash of coconut oil, the bead from one vitamin E capsule, 1 or 2 drops of rosemary. Shake it. In that one little bottle, you now hold a breakage fighter, an inside-out strengthener, a follicle-protecting antioxidant, and the one oil with real growth research behind it, combined into a nightly serum that cost you cents and outperforms the tubes that cost you $40. Brush it on clean brows and lash tips every night, away from the eye, and be relentless, because this is a marathon measured in months, not a sprint measured in mornings. Make a fresh batch every couple of months. Label it so no one mistakes it for eye drops, and understand what you are holding. No fillers, no marketing, no markup, just the handful of things that genuinely work in one honest bottle you own outright. This one bottle is the whole video in your hand. Everything the industry sells across a shelf of $40 tubes you just made in 90 seconds for the price of a sandwich. Keep it cool, keep it dark, and brush it on every single night, because the women who win at this are not the ones with the best products. They are the ones who actually showed up night after night when nobody was watching. Those 8 are the slow, real, quiet work. But I promised you 3 tricks that pay off tonight, no waiting, and here they are. Bonus number 1 is tinting, and it works because of a fact that will genuinely surprise you. You have far more lash and brow hair than you can see. Ringing your visible hairs are rows of fine, pale, colorless little hairs that have been invisible your whole life for one reason only: they have no pigment. Darken them and they appear, and your lashes and brows look instantly denser, fuller, more defined, without a single new hair. That is all tinting is. Dye for the hairs that were always there. It is life-changing for anyone fair, blonde, red, or graying. It lasts for weeks, and it survives water and sweat. Have it done or use a gentle kit, but patch test and keep the dye away from the eye itself. You are not growing anything. You are switching on hairs that were hiding in plain sight. Remember how full your brows looked when you were young, before the plucking, when every fine hair still carried its color. That is what tinting hands back to you, and it hands it back this week, not in 3 months. It is the fastest change on this entire list, and it pairs perfectly with the slow oils, one giving you the look tonight while the others quietly rebuild the reality underneath. Bonus number 2 is the soap brow trick, the free version of the lamination women pay salons a fortune for. Thin brows are very often not missing hair at all. They are just lying flat and scattered, leaving gaps. Swipe a clean spoolie across a bar of glycerin soap or through a little brow gel, then brush every hair firmly up and out and let it set standing tall. In 30 seconds, the hairs fan across the gaps, and a thin, flat brow becomes a full, fluffy, groomed one. Use the barest amount, or it turns stiff and crunchy. You did not grow a hair. You rearranged the ones you have into a shape that covers more and lifts the whole eye. A bar of soap you already own, a clean spoolie, 30 seconds, and a brow that looks laminated. They charge $60, $80, $100 for that in a salon. You just did it at your bathroom sink for free. Bonus number 3 is the instant length technique, the one the professionals trust over any serum. Curl your lashes, but first warm the curler with your hairdryer for a few seconds until it is gently warm and never hot. Then curl, and the warmth sets the lift the way a hot iron sets a curl in your hair, and it holds all day. Then, instead of dragging mascara through the tips, wiggle the wand at the roots and pull up, because the thickness lives at the base. For the brows, a tinted gel colors and holds in one pass. None of it grows a hair, and all of it, in 1 minute, makes short and sparse look long and full. So here is the truth the shelf will never tell you, and I want you to sit with it. The women you envy, the ones with the lashes and the brows you assumed were luck, were not born luckier than you. They simply stopped funding the lie. They stopped snapping off what they had. They conditioned it, they fed the follicle, they revealed the hairs already hiding on their own faces, and they did it with a bottle of castor oil and a cup of cold tea instead of a drawer full of $40 promises. That was the whole secret. Not a gene, not a serum. A handful of cheap, honest things done gently and done nightly. That is the whole betrayal laid bare, and the vindication with it. You were not failing, you were being farmed. And the moment you understand that, you stop being a customer for the lie and start being the woman who never needed it in the first place. And no, before you ask, there is no magic here. Nothing on this list grows you inches of new lash by Friday, and anyone who swears it does is reaching for your wallet. What these do is real and slow and permanent in a way the tube never was. They stop the loss. They strengthen and protect what grows. They wake the follicle, and they reveal what was always there. Do them together, patiently, and in a couple of months, the face in your mirror has the fuller brows and the longer lashes you were about to spend a fortune chasing. So tell me, in the comments, which one you are trying first tonight, the castor oil, the rosemary, or the little bottle you are about to make, because I read every one of them. And if you are the kind of woman who would rather know the truth than keep paying for the lie, who would rather own the recipe than rent the promise, then you already know where you belong, so subscribe to the Beauty Armor and stay close. Because next time, I am going to show you the everyday habit almost every woman does before bed that is quietly ripping her eyelashes out one by one, and the 30-second fix that stops it cold. One last thing before you go, and I mean this. Do not try all 11 tonight and burn out by the weekend. Pick one, the castor oil or the little bottle or the cold tea, and just start. Tomorrow add another. That is how this actually works, quietly, cheaply, one honest night at a time. Until one morning you catch your reflection and realize the lashes and brows you were about to spend. A fortune chasing were growing back the whole time, on a face that finally stopped believing it was broken.